Hi, folks. Hope you're okay today. It's good to be with you. I just want to share with you about the preachers, the seminaries, and the apologists that I get a blessing from, and so that you can go and research yourself and find out these people, and that they'll be a blessing to you. I think the first preacher that is a blessing to me, I think, is Steve Lawson. He's often preaching at the Legionnaire Conference. And if you go to Grace Life Church London on Vimeo or YouTube, you can see a course of his on the attributes of God. Or if you go onto my website, jasonburnspreacher.com, you can find the doctrine of God and the Stephen Lawson lecturing. He's a tremendous preacher, and he's a great blessing to me. I think the next preacher for me is John MacArthur. I do find his Bible teaching a help, and he's solid. And if you go to Grace to You, his website, you'll find tremendous blessing there. If you go to Legionnaire Ministries, to R.C. Sproul's website, there's tremendous material there. And also, if you go to Desiring God Ministries, John Piper, there's lots of books that you can download and great ministry there. Alistair Begg is another guy that I find a blessing, and some of the old guard, Dr. Martin Lloyd Jones, on the Dr. Martin Lloyd Jones Recordings Trust, and Know Your Bible is a website where Stuart Olliott lectures and preaches, and you can also get Stuart Olliott's sermons on YouTube as well now. So those are some of the preachers that I find a blessing. I could go on to many, many more, but those are some. So Google the names, check them out. David Platt is also another guy, and Matt Chandler is another guy. These are pastors and preachers. A place that I would go to listen to sermons would be Sermon Index or Sermon Index and Sermon Audio. Those are the two places to go. Sermon Index on YouTube, Sermon Audio on the web, and you'll get loads of good solid preachers in those areas in Bible teaching. I think the next thing I would talk about is seminaries, theological seminaries. There are certain seminaries that I find a blessing, and I want to recommend them. One is the Master's Seminary. They upload their courses, and you can go and listen to them, and that's a great place to study courses. Reformed Theological Seminary on iTunes provide a tremendous array of Bible teaching, and I would encourage you to do those courses. And also, if you go to Covenant Theological Seminary on iTunes and Southern Baptist Theological Seminary on iTunes, these are great institutions that will provide good, solid biblical material that will help you to grow in your faith. In the UK, I wouldn't really recommend a seminary in the UK. I think that the American ones are best to get in contact with. There is London Theological Seminary in London, and I don't think they have a website, but if they do have a website, check them out. I think, yes, they do have a website. Check them out, and you know, they're a good outfit as well. So those are seminaries that I find a blessing. Google them and you'll be blessed there. Now, in terms of apologists and apologetics, some old guard apologists that have been a blessing to me is Greg Manson. You can get his material on Presuppositional 101. And Francis Schaeffer is another apologist that has been a blessing to me. You can get his videos on the Francis Schaeffer Foundation and L'Abri Fellowship. In terms of modern day apologetics, if you go on the C.S. Lewis Institute, there's quite a lot of good lecturers there that do some really good lectures on various apologetic issues. Also, I think Kyle Butt is a very good apologist that I found. Dustin Seegers, Seitan Brugengate, and Seitan Brugengate, Dustin Seegers, and I would say Carl Butt is a very good debater. Ravi Zachariah is very good at lecturing. Oz Guinness, even though I don't agree with some things of his, is very good at certain things. Lecturing on culture. And William Wayne Craig is a very good debater, although I don't agree with his theistic evolution. And Gary Habermas is very good on the resurrection, although I don't agree with his theistic evolution. But I mean, the person that I find the most blessing is Dustin Seegers, and I'm trying to think of the other. Dustin Seegers. Trying to think of who else. Yeah, and Kyle Butt. I don't necessarily agree with Kyle Butt's theology, but he's very good at researching his opponents in debate. In terms of apologetic material, Greg Banson's lecture notes are very helpful, I found, in apologetics. So those are some of the areas. When I want to study apologetics, I'll go to either the C.S. Lewis Institute or I'll go to True Forms and look at Greg Banson's notes. That's what I do anyway. All right. Thank you for listening, and God bless. Take care.